Flooding in the city of Jakarta has taken 66 lives, with 2 people still missing as of the 6th of January. The city has been hit by some of the hardest rainfall in years, resulting in flash flooding and landslides. Home to over 30 million people, the floods have caused 170,000 residents to seek refuge. Jakarta is the world's fastest sinking city, sinking up to 25 centimeters per year in some areas. The city now sits below sea level and is expected to be completely submerged by 2050. As reported by Reuters, the country's meteorology, climatology and geophysical agency measured the highest flood reading since 1996. With 13 rivers running through the city and unable to drain into the bay, flooding during the rainy season is frequent and damaging. Many residents in the worst-hit areas have had to abandon homes and businesses as conditions worsen. The floods have also put affected residents at risk of waterborne disease, including typhoid and hepatitis. ABC reports that estimates have only given the city 5 years before over a quarter is lost to the sea. They are taking water, and as a result, the ground beneath is giving way. Climate change is also having a significant impact on the rate at which the city is sinking. Rising sea levels, along with subsidence, put Jakarta at risk of flooding. To combat the rising sea levels, walls have been installed along parts of the city to hold back the water. However, sea walls are already beginning to leak and decay. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change has stated that if carbon emissions continue at their current rate, sea levels could rise 1 meter by 2100. Lack of infrastructure can also be to blame and explain why over 60% of the population have to obtain their water illegally. As reported by The Conversation, the pipe network of Indonesia demonstrates the inequality of the country. Pipe networks reach only 60% of the population, concentrated in wealthier areas of the city. Poor waste services have resulted in residents dumping into rivers that are now unable to supply fresh water, and have encouraged residents to pump their water directly from the ground. Finally, Jakarta's population density is among the highest in the world and the city is collapsing under the pressure. There is more than 5 times the number of people residing in Jakarta, to that of Melbourne and Sydney. The sheer abundance of concrete and asphalt has left a severe lack of green spaces. This is preventing the absorption of water back into the ground and contributes to the erosion of the city's soil. History shows the damaging effects associated with the sinking city are not going away. In 2007, floods engulfed the city, inundated with rainfall and seawater swells. Over 300,000 people were evacuated, and 80 lost their lives. Again in 2013, flood management infrastructure could not handle heavy rainfall, with flooding engulfing not only the poorer, low-lying districts but spread into the CBD. Thousands were again evacuated and 45 people died. Previous attempts at addressing the issue include the construction of sea walls across Jakarta. The National Capital Integrated Coastal Development seawall is being built to protect Jakarta from rising seawater. However, in early December 2019, a nearly 200-meter section of the wall collapsed. The government has since launched an investigation into why the wall collapsed. Reported by Reuters, residents near the collapsed wall now fear for their safety. The plan to build the mega seawall was announced in 2014 and predicted to cost $40 billion. As reported by The Diplomat, Jakarta's flooding has ignited conversation about inequality within the country. The floods have disproportionately affected the poorer residents of Jakarta, that predominantly reside in the less developed, outskirts districts. These areas, as reported by Oxfam, suffer from a lack of access to roads and electricity. Indonesia has the 6th largest wealth inequality globally, and as a result, the poor are more vulnerable to flooding. A popular Twitter photo posted by Sakina Umihani bluntly depicts the country's inequality during the floods. The aerial shot captures the swimming pool of Shangri-La Hotel virtually untouched, next to a village that has been completely engulfed by floodwater. Sutana Jaja, director of the Jakarta-based Urban Studies Center, states that the hotel, among other development projects, sits 3 feet higher than street level. This causes flood water to flow down into areas that don't have the infrastructure to drain the water away. Sutanajaja states the rich are able to save themselves at the expense of other neighborhoods, she says. In a climate crisis, they the poor are the first victims, and the last ones to get help. Residents of Jakarta are continually paying the price for their government's mismanaged response to the sinking city. Previous attempts at addressing the crisis have failed, and now more than ever, a solution is needed. Providing an alternative fresh water supply may save Jakarta. If the 60% of residents that pump over 600 million cubic meters annually were given a cost-effective alternative, the subsidence may stop. For this to occur, the government would need to invest millions into infrastructure. Currently, pipe networks reach only 60% of the population and are concentrated in wealthier areas. Jan-Jaap Brinkman, a hydrologist for the Dutch Water Research Institute Delft Aries, states the only long-term solution to saving Jakarta is to stop all groundwater extraction. Water could be sourced from man-made reservoirs, rain, or river water. An expensive technology does exist to replace groundwater, used by Tokyo when facing severe land subsidence. Groundwater extraction in Tokyo also stopped, and the land subsidence halted as a result. Jakarta is sinking and has been sinking for years. Subsiding land, rising sea levels and poor infrastructure have resulted in the city disappearing at an alarming rate. If nothing is done to address the crisis, Jakarta may be underwater by 2050. Thank you for watching. I hope you know something about this topic. For more video like this, please leave comments and suggest topic for the next video. For more videos like this, please subscribe and click the bell button. Koudia Diop, also known as the Melanin Goddess, born December 31, 1996, is a Senegalese fashion model and actress. She calls herself the Melanin Goddess on Instagram, and her fast-growing fan base on the internet promises to make her every bit a fashion legend. Meet the Senegalese-born model Koudia Diop. Everyone bullied this girl at school because of her skin color. What she does now? Wow! Senegalese teen bullied for her incredibly dark skin color becomes a model, takes the internet by storm. Koudia started modeling when she was 17, and now she already has over 235,000 followers on Instagram. To make the most of her situation, she's spreading the message to embrace the different, saying if you're lucky enough to be different, don't ever change.
When I was a kid, my idea of beauty was being light-skinned. I just wish I could, go back in time and tell my younger self, just don't even think about this. I grew up in Senegal, so I was bullied a lot by my classmates because of my skin color. Even to a point that I stopped going to school. I was so ashamed of it that I would spend hours in the shower crying and trying to wash my skin off. My mom left my country when I was 3 years old, and I was raised by her sister. When I was around 15, I had to move to Paris. I had to go and live with her and keep her company. She would always tell me not to change my skin color, that it is beautiful and unique, that I had to love it, and that was the difference. I started modeling in Paris, but I was kind of scared. I was young and I didn't really know what I was getting into, and I moved here to New York to live with my family, my mom, my sisters and brother. So yeah, I work with a couple of photographers, and that's where it started. The co-founder and founder of Kawaii Girls contacted me via Instagram, and the pictures kind of went viral from there, and that's where I really started. Oh, this girl said, "Hello, sweetie. I'm a big fan of you. You're a role model to all ladies. Beauty inside the soul, not the out." Being young and black means everything to me. For me, it means freedom because I can be myself and do what I love and inspire a lot of young generations. And I feel like I'm helping a lot of dark-skinned girls feel better about themselves. I think beauty is just being able to be yourself and just celebrate yourself without having to worry about what other people are gonna think about you.
That's all for today. I hope you enjoy this kind of video. For more videos like this, please subscribe and click the bell button. Farah became notorious in 2013. The incident occurred during the Jandriya Cultural Festival in Riyadh, in which Farah, plus 2 other male models, worked on a promotion stand. In a January 2015 interview, Al Gala said that at the festival, some girls recognized him from some modeling he had done, and they gathered for autographs and photos, after which the crowd around them grew. Al Gala said that the religion police didn't like it, and they came and they asked me politely to leave the festival. According to a police officer, the members of the Commission for the Promotion of Virtue and Prevention of Vices feared that female visitors would fall in love with them. Later, the delegation of Saudi Arabia issued a statement clarifying that Borkan and the other 2 models were never asked to leave the country, only the festival, and that had nothing to do with being too handsome, but was related to the unexpected presence on the stand of men, something that challenged the country's custom regarding having women not to interact with men who are not of their family. They also stated that Al Gala had performed indecent dances at the event. The incident became one of the most viral stories on the internet after photographs of Al Gala were disseminated through social media, and he was invited to give interviews on various television programs and appeared on various magazine covers, being presented by the international press as the most handsome Arab man in the world or the most handsome man in the world. His Facebook page reached over 1 million followers since reports of his deportation broke out. As a result, Al Gala made a tour that took him to Mexico, Chile, and Ecuador in Latin America. Al Gala was born in Baghdad, Iraq, but was raised in Dubai, in the United Arab Emirates. He was a student at the Abu Ubaidah Al Yara Public School in Dubai, and was also a student of the Faculty Executive Hotels International Institute of Hotel Management, where he studied hotel management. He is married since 2015 with Yasmin Ouieta, with whom he has a son. At some point following his gain in notoriety in 2013, he relocated to Vancouver. Hi guys, welcome to our new topic today. This topic was requested by Ma'am Angeline Solasso, shout out you ma'am, and it's only here on Glick Falcon TV. In a historical sense, the term Illuminati refers to the Bavarian Illuminati, a secret society that operated for only a decade, from 1776 to 1785. This organization was founded by Adam Weishaupt, a German law professor who believed strongly in Enlightenment ideals, and his Luminitenorden sought to promote those ideals among elites. Weishaupt wanted to educate Illuminati members in reason, philanthropy, and other secular values so that they could influence political decisions when they came to power. It was pretty ambitious for 6 or 9 guys, but they really wanted to take over the world, says Chris Hodapp, the co-author of Conspiracy Theories and Secret Societies for Dummies with Alice von Canaan. The Illuminati's goals and reputation often exceeded their means, Hodapp notes. In its early days, the group was just a handful of people. And even at its largest, it only consisted of somewhere between 650 and 2,500 members. The group grew to that size by becoming a sort of sleeper cell within other groups. Illuminati members joined Freemason lodges to recruit members for their own competing secret society. Here were two sides to the historical Illuminati, their odd rituals and their ideals. The Illuminati did plenty of unusual things. They used symbols, like the owl, adopted pseudonyms to avoid identification, and had complicated hierarchies like novice, Minerval, and illuminated Minerval that divided the ranks. In the beginning, Hodapp says, Illuminati members didn't trust anyone over 30, because they were too set in their ways. Other reports of rituals are harder to confirm, but we know that members were very paranoid and used spy-like protocol to keep one another's identities secret. But while they were following these bizarre rituals, they also promoted a worldview that reflected Enlightenment ideals like rational thought and self-rule. Anti-clerical and anti-royal, the Illuminati were closer to revolutionaries than world rulers, since they sought to infiltrate and upset powerful institutions like the monarchy. Historians tend to think the Illuminati were only mildly successful at best in becoming influential. Though, of course, there are also those who believe the Illuminati successfully took over the world and still control it today. If an all-powerful group does dominate the world, we probably wouldn't know about it. It's also difficult to untangle the success of the Illuminati from that of the Freemasons, which they infiltrated and commingled with. It's just as tough to tell what influence the Illuminati actually had as opposed to the influence people think they had. We do know the Illuminati had some influential members along with many dukes and other leaders who were powerful but are forgotten today. Some sources think writer Johann Goethe was a member of the group, though other sources dispute the claim. In a way, Illuminati influence depends on what you believe about them. If you think their revolutionary ideals spread to other groups, like the French Revolution's Jacobins, then they were successful. If you think those ideas would have prospered regardless, then they were mainly a historical curiosity. They were wiped out, Hodapp says. People have tried to revive them over the years, but it's a money-making scheme. In 1785, Duke of Bavaria Karl Theodor banned secret societies, including the Illuminati, and instituted serious punishments for anyone who joined them. Most of the group's secrets were disclosed or published, and, if you believe most historians, the Illuminati disappeared. From the moment of the disbanding, however, the myth expanded. As described in Conspiracy Theories in American History, an encyclopedia, documents found in the homes of high-ranking Illuminati members like Xavier von Zwack confirmed some of the spookiest Illuminati theories, like their dreams of world domination and cultish behavior, even though those documents may exaggerate the truth about the group. Almost immediately after the Illuminati were disbanded, conspiracy theories about the group sprang up. The most famous conspiracy theories were authored by physicist John Robison in 1797, who accused the Illuminati of infiltrating the Freemasons, and Abbé Augustin Barruel, whose 1797 History of the Jacobins promoted the theory that secret societies, including the Illuminati, were behind the French Revolution. Historians tend to see these as the first in a long line of conspiracy theories. Later on, some of the founding fathers managed to stoke interest in the Illuminati in the United States. In 1798, George Washington wrote a letter addressing the Illuminati threat. In the panic caused by the anti-Illuminati books and sermons, Thomas Jefferson was accused of being a member of the group. Conspiracy theories have always been popular in the United States, but for centuries, the Illuminati were less feared than the Freemasons. The 1828 Anti-Masonic Party was based on an opposition to the Freemasons, and though the party died out, Freemasons remained a focal point for paranoia in America. Because the Illuminati recruited many members in Europe through Freemason lodges, the two groups are often confused for each other. To some degree, Freemason paranoia grew out of the Freemasons' influence in the United States. Many founding fathers were members, after all. And some key American symbols may have been derived from the Freemasons. There's a strong argument that the floating eye on the dollar, the eye of Providence above a pyramid, comes from Freemasonry. The Illuminati never completely disappeared from popular culture. It was always burbling in the background. But in the mid-1970s, the Illuminati made a marked comeback thanks to a literary trilogy that gave the group the simultaneously spooky and laughable image it holds today. The Illuminatus trilogy, by Robert Shea and Robert Anton Wilson, depicted the Illuminati with ironic detachment. This trilogy became a countercultural touchstone, and its intermingling of real research. Weishaupt, the founder of the real Illuminati, is a character with fantasy helped put the Illuminati back on the radar. It was a great example of the post-60s ways of ironizing elite forms of power, Mark Fenster says. That ironic vision of conspiracy theory is extremely widely distributed. You can be both a serious conspiracy theorist and joke about it. From there, the Illuminati became a periodic staple of both popular culture, as in Dan Brown's massively popular novel Angels and Demons, and various subcultures, where the group is often intermingled with Satanism, alien myths, and other ideas that would have been totally foreign to the real Bavarian Illuminati. Jay-Z has previously said that he thinks rumors of his membership in the Illuminati are stupid. Kanye West has said it's ridiculous. Of course, to conspiracy theorists, that's exactly what a member of the Illuminati would say. In a broader sense, rumors about the Illuminati and celebrities speak to their place in our culture. Fenster sees the half-ironic, half-serious accusations of Illuminati membership as the latest expression of an old American phenomenon. It marks that Jay-Z and Beyoncé seem to live in a different universe than us, he says. They have secret lives and secret access that seems reptilian. We notice how bizarre their lives seem to be and how powerful they seem to be. Usinski also notes the ties between power and conspiracy. The thing that ties conspiracy theories together is that they always point at someone who is supposedly powerful, he says. You never hear a conspiracy theory about the homeless guy in the street or a gang of poor children. Both Fenster and Usinski noted that conspiracy theories can, in many ways, represent genuine anxieties about social problems. In a global, media-driven world, celebrities represent a new and unusual form of power that has an appropriately conspiratorial response. Thank you for watching, and that's where our video will end. I hope you learned something. If you reached this part, please suggest topic, and if you want to shout out, just comment below so I can shout out to you next video, and don't forget to like and subscribe. For more videos like this, please subscribe and click the bell button. A black hole is a place in space where gravity pulls so much that even light cannot get out. The gravity is so strong because matter has been squeezed into a tiny space. This can happen when a star is dying. Because no light can get out, people can't see black holes. They are invisible. Space telescopes with special tools can help find black holes. The special tools can see how stars that are very close to black holes act differently than other stars. Black holes can be big or small. Scientists think the smallest black holes are as small as just one atom. These black holes are very tiny but have the mass of a large mountain. Mass is the amount of matter, or stuff, in an object. Another kind of black hole is called stellar. Its mass can be up to 20 times more than the mass of the Sun. There may be many stellar mass black holes in Earth's galaxy. Earth's galaxy is called the Milky Way. The largest black holes are called supermassive. These black holes have masses that are more than 1 million suns together. Scientists have found proof that every large galaxy contains a supermassive black hole at its center. The supermassive black hole at the center of the Milky Way galaxy is called Sagittarius A. It has a mass equal to about 4 million suns and would fit inside a very large ball that could hold a few million Earths. Scientists think the smallest black holes formed when the universe began. Stellar black holes are made when the center of a very big star falls in upon itself, or collapses. When this happens, it causes a supernova. A supernova is an exploding star that blasts part of the star into space. Scientists think supermassive black holes were made at the same time as the galaxy they are in. A black hole cannot be seen because strong gravity pulls all of the light into the middle of the black hole. But scientists can see how the strong gravity affects the stars and gas around the black hole. Scientists can study stars to find out if they are flying around, or orbiting, a black hole. When a black hole and a star are close together, high-energy light is made. This kind of light cannot be seen with human eyes. Scientists use satellites and telescopes in space to see the high-energy light. Black holes do not go around in space eating stars, moons and planets. Earth will not fall into a black hole because no black hole is close enough to the solar system for Earth to do that. Even if a black hole the same mass as the Sun were to take the place of the Sun, Earth still would not fall in. The black hole would have the same gravity as the Sun. Earth and the other planets would orbit the black hole as they orbit the Sun now. The Sun will never turn into a black hole. The Sun is not a big enough star to make a black hole. NASA is using satellites and telescopes that are traveling in space to learn more about black holes. These spacecraft help scientists answer questions about the universe. Thank you for watching. That's all for this video. I hope you know something. If you like this kind of topic, please suggest and leave in the comment section. For more videos like this, please subscribe and click the bell button. Hi guys, welcome to our new topic today. This topic is a bit different, so what are we waiting for? Let's start. Number 1. Lucifer, or Lucifer Morning Star, formerly known as Hallel or Samael, known as the Light Bringer, the Light Bearer, Satan, Morning Star, Child of the Dawn, and the Son of the Morning, was one of the earliest of God's creations, and the younger twin brother of Michael. He was regarded as the wisest, greatest, and most beautiful angel in all of creation, having virtually no equal, with only God being his superior. He is infamously known as the angel that rebelled against God and heaven and caused the downfall of mankind. Number 2. Belphegor is the demon lord that presides over the sin of sloth and one of the 7 princes of hell that rules hell and helps people to make discoveries. Number 3. Beelzebub, formerly known as either Trial, Daniel, or Yaphiel, is a former seraphim turned high-ranking demon, who is considered one of the 7 princes of hell and oversees the Order of the Fly. He, alongside Satan and Lucifer, form the triumvirate of hell and is one of the supreme rulers of the Inferno. Number 4. Mammon, also known as Mammon or Plutus, is a powerful demon that is commonly personified as greed and is the noble demon lord of avarice, richness, abundance, prosperity, wealth, and injustice, most often personified as a deity. Number 5. Satan, also known as Ha-Satan, or the Tempter, the Evil One, the Adversary, and the Devil, formerly known as Satanel, is a prominent figure in all Abrahamic religions, though mostly Christianity, playing various roles in their literature. He is known for bringing evil and temptation, and is known as the deceiver who leads humanity astray. Satan is even able to take control of the life of a person in the stead of God, though only to an extent to what God allows. He is a malevolent force that works behind the scenes, animating division and hatred between humans. Number 6. Leviathan is a demon of darkness and chaos and a king of hell referred to in the Tanakh and the Bible. Number 7. Asmodeus, also known as Asmodee, Shamadai, Sidona, Sikra, Ashmedea, Asmodee, Asmodeus, Asmodee, Asha, Ashmedai, Ashimadeva, Saturn, Markalv, Marulv, is a king of demons and earthly spirits mostly known from the deuterocanonical book of Tobit. The demon is also mentioned in some Talmudic legends, for instance, in the story of the construction of the Temple of Solomon. He was supposed by some Renaissance Christians to be the king of the 9 hells. And that's where our video will end. Thanks for watching. I hope you know more about this topic, and if you have any suggestions on this topic, leave a comment below and please suggest topic for the next video. For more videos like this, please subscribe and click the bell button.
In other words,
wala sa Biblia yun. Wala sa Biblia yun. Wala sa Biblia yun. Tutol ako ron. 17:5 ng Jeremias. Sumpain ng tao na tumitiwala sa tao. Tapos, eto pa. Eto na sa Biblia. Awit 146:3. Ang sabi, Psalms 146 verse 3. Ang sabi ron, huwag niyong ilaga ang tiwala ninyo sa mga pangulo o sa mga anak ng tao na walang pagsaklolo. Hindi ka sigurado
Iba ang premise nun, Eli.
Di ba? Ito isang buhay na karanasan. Inidorso ng Iglesia ni Cristo sa Erap. Ano nangyari kay Erap?
El Shaddai din.
Di ba? Ang El Shaddai inidorso sa Erap. Ano ngayon? Ba't hindi niyo tinulungan si Erap? Pinalikuran mo lang. Mahirap eh.
Sasagot lang. Wait.
Una si Brother Mike dito para sagutin ka. Sorry ha.
Hindi
Pero sa
si
akin.
Brother Mike. Andiyan ka naman eh. Kapatid eh.
Wait.
Sana inanayaan mo siya.
Wait.
Kaya importante yung pagmamahal sa bayan.
Kayo nga namimiloso po.
Yung pagmamahal sa bayan
Kayo nga
importante.
namimiloso po. Hindi dapat
Airtime ko. Brother Eli,
wala sa Biblia.
Airtime ko muna. Respetuhan muna tayo, okay lang? Yan ang problema sa'yo, walang respeto eh. No? Ako nagkasalita eh.
Huwag ka mamimersonal. Alamin mo, diba tito, allowed dito na sumagot pagka meron ka dapat isagot, huwag ka lang manggugulo.
Okay.
Sandali lang.
Yes,
Paano kung mabait sila sa inyo? Ano ba yan? Lalabanan nyo pa ba sila kung mabait sila sa inyo? Kung gagawa sila ng pabor sa couple for Christ? Di ba ganon? Kaya nga hindi nawawala yung politics sa utang na loob sa atin dahil sa ganyan eh.
Pabor doon, Brother Eli, kung they will fight for what we are fighting for, like pro-family, pro-life, good governance. So, yun lang naman namang inaasahan namin sa kanila.
Okay, Brother Eli.
Para po mailagay sa kamay at desisyon ng tao, hindi kailangan mag-endorse on sino man religious leader. Kailangan magbigay sila ng guideline, yung galing sa banal na kasulatan na mapanggagalingan ng magandang gobyerno. Kung sino ang maaaring makapamahala ng maganda, yun ang dapat nila ibigay yung mga katangian. Pero mag-endorso ng personal na tao, inaalisan mo na ng karapatang mamili ang miyembro mo. Para ba sila puro tanga na at ikaw na lang ang magdidikta na magdidikta. Diktador ang labas mo niyan. Yan ang masasabi natin.
Oh, Brother Eli, sabi mo kanina, ang hirap kasi dito, pag pinagsama mo yung relihiyon sa politika, parang ginagamit yung relihiyon as a political capital. Will you kindly explain
Ano
that?
yun?
Ano ba ibig
Oo,
sabihin
ano
mo
yung
dyan?
political capital?
Ay, kasi ang relihiyon sana gamitin sa mga bagay na pampanginoon, hindi sa mga bagay na temporal, kagaya niyang eleksyon at pag-i-endorso ng kandidato. Unang-una, yung sinasabi ni Father Anton, na kailangan daw yung panig niyang tinitindig ay ganun lang gawin, it's a failure. 500 taon na ang Catholic Church sa Pilipinas. Hindi na-solve ang graft and corruption sa Pilipinas. Dahil nga dyan sa kai-endorso ng kandidato at kapapakialam ng mga religious leaders. At alam niyo ang ginagawa, nangyayari? Eto, ang nangyayari, kahihiyan pa ng inyong Diyos. Di ba kahihiyan ng grupo ni Almeida na nagpatong pa ng kamay na gano'n, ano, hindi na nanalo? Kahihiyan yun eh.
Okay, how do you react to that?
Natin ang kahihiyan ng ating Diyos. Huwag na nating idamay ang Diyos natin sa bagay ng politika. Dahil, halimbawa, sinabi ni Kamanalo, ang inuboto natin ito, sugo ako ng Diyos. Di tama dapat ang sinabi ko, natalo yung kandidato niya. Di mali ang Diyos mo.
I was giving a recollection to a group of priests, and there were 2 bishops, and it was a 2-day workshop, and the whole 2 days was really about how to raise money for the church. And there were other speakers, and before me there was a speaker talking about how to have a school in the parish so that they would raise money for the parish. And there was another speaker that talked about how to have a columbarium in the parish, so that they would raise money. And there was another speaker, he was saying, well, you need to put up certain small ways of, like maybe charge for parking or something, or put stores in front and rent space, and etc. And finally they asked me to speak, and I talked about tithing. And as I was speaking, I noticed that it was like very difficult for some priests, and finally they raised their hand, and one of them said, but Brother Bo, it's so difficult to teach about tithing. It's like, you know, we're afraid that people will say, no, we're not used to it. And I had to tell them this. I said, you know what? You'll be surprised. I've been teaching tithing to my spiritual community, the Light of Jesus, for the past 30 years.
Paano malalaman kung totoo?
Opo.
Sa 7:18 ng Juan, 18.
Ang nagsasalita ng saga ng kanyang sarili, humahanap ng kanyang sariling kaluwalhatian. Datapwat, ang humahanap ng kaluwalhatian yaong sa kanya'y nagsugo, ang gayon ay totoo at sa kanya'y walang kalikuan.
Sabi ni Kristo, ang nagsasalita ng saga ng kanyang sarili, humahanap siya ng kanyang sariling kaluwalhatian.
You know what? You'll be surprised. I've been teaching tithing to my spiritual community, the Light of Jesus, for the past 30 years. You know what? You'll be surprised. I've been teaching tithing to my spiritual community, the Light of Jesus, for the past 30 years. You know what? You'll be surprised. I've been teaching tithing to my spiritual community, the Light of Jesus, for the past 30 years.
Ako ba nagsasalita na pansarili?
Hindi po.
Tatanong kita, kapatid. Kasi malalaman mo yung totoo eh. Yung totoo, hindi nagsasalita na mula sa sarili.
And finally, they asked me to speak, and I talked about tithing. And finally, they asked me to speak, and I talked about tithing. And finally, they asked me to speak, and I talked about tithing.
Sabi sa 7:17, ganito.
Kung ang sino mang tao ay nag-iibig gumawa ng kanyang kalooban, ay makikilala niya ang turo kung ito'y sa Diyos o kung ako'y nagsasalita na mula sa aking sarili.
Dalawang klase lang ang mangangaral eh. Isang sa Diyos at isang nagsasalitang mula sa sarili. Na yun.
Yung pong bawal manigarilyo, Mr. Soriano, tatapatin ko kayo, it is a medical statement. It is not a biblical statement.
Bakit kung mabasa ko sa Biblia? Kung mabasa ko sa Biblia?
Basahin niyo yung salitang sigarilyo. Talo na ako, Mr. Soriano.
Ay, tinan mo. Piloso po ka palang kangkong eh.
Basahin niyo, Mr. Soriano. Yung salitang sigarilyo.
Babasahin ko. Ako ang bahala. Wala kang pakialam, ako babasa. Babasahin ko. Bawal yan. Sabihin mo medical term. Nasa Biblia yan.
No, Mr. Soriano.
Ha? Babasahin ko? Babasahin ko.
Sige.
Pag nabasa ko, tatanggapin mo. Talo ka na.
Talo ko, Mr. Soriano.
Talo ka na. O, sige ha. Moderator, saksi kayo ha. Pag nabasa ko na masama ang sigarilyo, talo na siya ha. Tapos na diskusyon. Eto ha. Tandaan nyo ang talata. Galacia 5:19. Patuloy. Eto po, basa. At hayag ang gawa ng laman sa makatwid ay ang mga ito. Tungkol sa mga bagay na ito, pinagpapauna kong ipaalaala sa inyo na ang nagsisigawan ng gayong mga bagay hindi magmamana ng kaharian ng Diyos. Ito, alam nitong gawa ng laman na hindi magmamana ng kaharian ng Diyos. Ito, pakikiapid, karumihan. Hindi mo ba ang sigarilyo nakakapagparumi o nakakapagpalinis?
Basahin niyo yung sigarilyo.
Teka muna, wag mo ako interrupt. Karumihan, kalibugan, pagsamba sa Diyos-Diyusan, pangkukulam, mga pagtataniman, mga pagtatalo, mga paninibugho, mga pagkakaalitan, mga pagkakampi-kampi, mga pagkakabahabahagi, mga hidwang pananampalataya, mga kapanaghilian, mga paglalasing, mga kalayawan, at ang mga katulad nito. Ipinagpapaunang ipaalala sa inyo ang nagsisigawan ng gayong mga bagay hindi magmamana ng kaharian ng Diyos. Masama ba o hindi? Alin yun? Mga paglalasing at mga katulad nito, mga vices. Kasama ba ang sigarilyo? Hindi. Kasama, pati syabuan doon. Pag sinabi mo na walang syabu sa Biblia, pwede ka lang magsyabu, ngayon din papadakip kita. May kasama akong pulis, akala mo? Kasama yung syabu ron, kasama yung marihuana ron, kasama ang sigarilyo ron, at lahat ng bisyong nakakapinsala sa kalusugan ng tao. Talo na si Blanco, hindi. Hindi ka marunong ng lohika.
Paninigarilyo, panalo na si Mr. Soriano. Wala po yung sigarilyo doon, Mr. Soriano. Wala po.
Lilipat na lang po ako ng ibang tanong.
Para yung sa akin
Ang susunod ko po, pwede na po, Mr. Moderator. Ang susunod ko pong tanong ito. Kapatid, wag mo namang ikagagalit, ano? Tagalog ka ba?
Bisaya.
Bisaya. Therefore, pag sinabi ba sa Bibliang magpatira pa, ang ibig sabihin ganito? Yun ba ang alam mo na pagpapatira pa? Yun ba ang alam mo?
Okay. Brad Pelly, ang pagpapatira pa,
Yung nga tanong ko sa'yo, yung ba ang alam mo? Yung kasi iminuestra mo kanina eh.
Ang pagpatinapa ay ganito. Papakita ko sa inyo mga kapatid. Ganyan po ang pagpatinapa.
Yun ba ang alam mo?
Okay. Brad Belly, ang pagpapatirapa,
Yung nga tanong ko sa'yo, yung ba ang alam mo? Yung kasi iminuestra mo kanina eh. Yun ba ang alam mong pagpapatira pa?
yun po ang sinasabi sa
Ayun.
Biblia.
Ito, ano ito?
Yan.
Ano yun?
Brad Belly,
Ano yun?
nadapa. Hindi ka nagpatirapa.
Hindi ako nadapa.
Nadapa ka.
Yung nadapa, kapatid, para maturuan kita, sa susunod para alam mo ang sasabihin mo. Yung nadapa, aksidente yun. Nadapa eh. Pero, pag kusa kang nagpatira pa, hindi ka nadapa. Kaya sa susunod kapatid, ang miyembro mo, huwag mong tuturuan ng mali. Biro mo, tinuruan mo pagpapatira pa, ipagyuko. Meron pa akong tanong. Bilang mo yun. Susunod kong tanong ganito. Marami ang hindi marunong magpatira pa sa Diyos, sabi niya. Tanong ko ngayon kapatid, kung marami granting, maraming hindi marunong magpatira pa sa Diyos, sabi mo kanina yun, nung ginamit mo yung 14:25 ng Korinto. Tanong ko sa iyo ngayon, ikaw ba't miyembro mo marunong magpatira pa?
Opo.
Yung bang ginawa mo kanina, pagpapatira pa o pagyuko?
Sa wikang, okay, sagutin natin. Sa wikang English, ang pagkasabi ay bow down. Hindi dapa yun. At kung inyong pagmamasdan.
Yung bang bow down? Yung bang bow down, hindi pagdapa? Ha? Saan diksyonary mo nabasa na yung bow down ay hindi pagdapa?
Saan?
Kasi alam nyo, dapat tayo, pagkagagawa tayo sa bagay, sigurado natin ginagawa natin. Kaya nga ang sabi, pagpapatira pa, iba yung napaluhod kaysa sa lumuhod. Iba yung nagpatira pa kaysa sa nadapa. At siya kanina iminuestra pa niya, hindi naman siya nagpatira pa nun. Ha? Hindi siya nagpatira pa nun.
Ang pagpatirapa ay ganito. Papakita ko sa inyo mga kapatid. Ganyan po ang pagpatirapa.
At siya kanina iminuestra pa niya, hindi naman siya nagpatira pa nun. Ha? Hindi siya nagpatira pa nun. Kaya yung sinasabi niya, maraming hindi marunong magpatira pa, siya pala unang-una hindi marunong magpatira pa. Kawawa naman siya.
Siya sa inyong mga kamay kasi demokrasya tayo. Iboboto pa natin siya. Pinakilala ko lang siya na siya ang gusto ng Diyos para sa atin. Mali yan. Nagsisinungaling ka talaga, huling-huli ka na. Sabi mo, pinakilala mo na siya talaga ang appointed ng Ama. Eh, ba't nung kaharap mo si Chris Aquino, binago mo? Ulitin na ito ko naman talaga, no, pero I have given my word to people. Gusto maliwanagan, mga kababayan. Maraming pastor ngayon, matigas ang pagmumuka. Harapan niloloko Pilipino. Sabi mo, ang appointed, sige po. Yun ang gusto ng Ama. Eh, kaya lang, kailangan dumaan sa eleksyon, kaya natalo. Yung palang Diyos mo, talunan. Yung Diyos mo, talunan. Yung Diyos na totoo, pag nagsabi yun, kahit ano mangyari, ang mangyayari yung sinabi niya. Eh, ikaw naman, para lang mahilot mo yung kasinungalingan mo, sabi mo, siya talaga gusto ng Ama. Hindi nyo binoto, kaya hindi siya naging presidente. Mali yan. Bakit? Sinabi mo kay Chris ang revelation mo talaga si Pinoy, hindi si Gibo. Alin ba talaga, Mama?
He gave me his name, and he took my name as his new name. So my name became his name, and his name became my name.
Ang kanya raw pangalan, ang kinuha ng Diyos para maging pangalan niya at nakipagpalit. At yung pangalan naman ni Christ, Jesus Christ, binigay sa kanya na bago niyang pangalan. Yun po ang aligasyon ng Mama.
He gave me his name, and he took my name as his new name. I and my Father's name are one.
At kaya raw hindi mababasa sa Biblia yon kasi ang ginamit na talata, yung 2:9 ng unang Korinto na ang bagay na hindi nakita ng mata, hindi narinig ng tainga. Kaya daw yung sinasabi niya, wala raw mababasa sa Biblia kasi hindi nakita ng mata, hindi narinig ng tainga.
Sinabi nila, bakit di namin nabasa yan? Pangalan mo o siya pangalan niya? Bakit di namin alam na ikaw ang may-ari ng Bulsang Libutan? Alam mo? Bakit? Eto, basahin mo. Ano sinasabi niya? Look what he said in 1 Corinthians. English muna.
Yes, Pastor, 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 9. But as it is written, I had not seen.
I had not seen. Hindi mo nabasa. Basa na. Basa. Hindi nga nakita ng mata. Ipapakita ba ng Diyos ang regalo niya? Baka nakawin mo pa.
For more videos like this, please subscribe and click the bell button.